Next thing is, what most brothers and most sisters will do is that they're going to go through this course, right? When first is, they've just finished their exams, something like June, end of June. July's here. Most brothers, most sisters, what is it? It's party time, holiday time, it's summertime. Yeah, go out there, waste the time, this and that, play snooker all night, pool all night, go and hang around, whatever it is, go and play these games on the internet, whatever, browse on the internet, blah, 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 whatever. August goes, September goes, all the way till October, then the course starts, you have Freshers Week, all of that. It's like, okay, let it all start, and then September comes and it starts. October comes and it starts. What happens then? They're taking it easy. They're in cruise control. They think it doesn't matter. So October goes. They've just started the course. November goes. And, some tests, this and that, some coursework is coming by December, January. Okay, they're starting to now get a bit serious. Next minute they know it. By February, they're in the thick. They go, oh my God, Imam Sahib, please make dua for me. Why? I've got 6 exams, 6 courseworks. I got this. What, didn't they tell you in the beginning? They kind of did, yeah. Well, you had September, you had October, you had November. Come on, guy. Be serious. The best thing you can do yourself a favor, Akhi, if you're listening to this, for that coming year. Some of you, most it's late for you now. Say, Paul, listening. You think, oh my God, I wish I listened to it. A few months back. But don't worry. Next year you can listen. You can do amal on this, inshallah. What you do is, you prepare yourself from day number 1. What does that mean? That means, I'll tell you a good book to get. I've used this book and I've used it for my own madrasa purpose in my final year, and I haven't stuck to it like glue. I didn't follow it right down to the T, but I made my own methodologies. I devised my own strategies by reading this book. And it's a very useful book, and I think you guys should read it. It doesn't matter what you're studying. This should show you some guidelines of how you should prepare for your exams. The first preparation is where it's not in March, my friends. It's in September. It's in August. One of the key things that the Islamic fields they teach you is mutala'ah. Then they say muraja'ah. Mutala, mudarasa, then muraja'ah. 3 things. They say before you come to the lesson, you must try and read the subject before the teacher even explains it. This is an old Islamic tradition. In all the madaris, even till today, is continuous. You try and work it out yourself, number 1. So your mind is working to try and figure this thing out. Doesn't matter how complex it is. Spend 2 hours, spend 3 hours on it, try and figure it out. Because what that will do is that it's going to make a very good connection with your mind and the subject that you're studying. Number 2 is mudarasa. When you're in the actual lesson, the teacher will explain it to you. That time it's the second time you're going over. What most these universities and colleges will do, in fact almost all of them, is you just come in the class and you just listen to the lecturer. You don't do no preparation beforehand. They give you notes. But I know, I've been to university myself, most people don't even read it before they get there. The third thing you do is muraja'ah, which means you go over your lecture. So you have a good selection group of friends, and I want you to do this. Part of you passing your exam successfully is you have good friends. You know what good friends are? Good friends are serious people. They like to study. They don't want to waste time. They don't basically spend all their time on shadi.com. Yeah? I'm basically browsing around and seeing who's going to be next to take them beloved, from their miseries out and make them, a nice pie in the sky. They don't do that. They don't sit around, saying, yeah, bro, what's up, bro? Yeah, man, got some exam. Feel like a kebab, man. Feel like a kebab. Yeah. I mean, they're not time wasters. You go to good friends, they're going to be serious about studying, okay? You go and study. Now, when you study with them, be serious about studying. Now, divide it. This book, I want to tell you, is a book by Tony Buzan. B-U-Z-A-N is his surname. You might think, what Shaykh is now quoting a non-Muslim book? Allahu Akbar. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he said, kalima hikmah. He said, words of wisdom, ضَالَّةُ مُؤْمِن. They are the lost property of a believer. يَأْخُذُهَا مِنْ حَيْثُ يَجِدُهَا. Wherever the believer finds it, he takes it from there. So if you find any non-Muslim with a good theory, it wasn't his, it was yours. It wasn't his, it was yours. You're a mu'min. You take all the best that is in the world. It's yours because you believe in Allah. You believe in the one who created that, who gave that man that idea. I'm not saying plagiarism, okay? I'm not saying, guys, please don't go to say, Imam said, kalima, hikmah, dal. It was my lost property. I found it in the bin, and I basically, all those guys threw it in the bin. I took it out and I basically just wrote it. I copied it, but it's my property. All this is mine. I'm Muslim. Yeah. But anyway, what you do is get that book, Tony Buzan's book. You will read that book, and in there, what you will find is that he will say that you have to put bite-size memory, right, memorization throughout every day, every week, every month, from the beginning of your studying all the way till the end. Guys, you don't know the power of this, because this is actually, honestly, this is Islamic. When you do hifz of the Quran, how do you do hifz of the Quran? You don't sit there one day and say, I'm going to take the whole of Alif Lam Mim inside. You don't do that. You start, you say, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ. And then you try and move you look at ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ. You look back into, look out again, and then you do the next bit, bite size. You give yourself breaks. Then what happens is, any person who's memorized any surah would know this. You memorize it today, tell me guys, this is true or not. By tomorrow morning, if you memorize a page of the Quran, something brand new, or half a page of the Quran, by tomorrow morning, you've forgotten quite a bit of it. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? Come on. Yes, see, this is normal, this is normal human being, that the memory power has got two different modes. This Tony Buzan's book, he's got many books, okay? Go for the one which is Use Your Head. The title of the book is Use Your Head. So in that he'll explain to you about the memory itself. Okay, if he doesn't explain that, he'll explain it in Use Your Memory. He's got a second book called Use Your Memory. But don't just buy from Amazon, okay? And just read it or borrow it with each other. Don't go around spending so much money in buying all these expensive books. Just find it second hand, whatever. Just use the information. But Use Your Head should be enough. That was enough for me. So what you realize is that the memory, if today you've memorized something, you would have known it like 100%. By tomorrow morning, it will drop down to 25% or 30%, which means 25-30% now has possibly gone to your long-term memory, is going towards your long-term memory, and the 100%, the other 75% you had yesterday was in your short-term memory. So you've got to take it from your short-term memory to your long-term memory. Same as what the CD-ROM, the whole computer, how it works. Yeah, same the human mind works like that. So what you're going to do, you do hifz of it again. You go over again. You say ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ الَّذِينَ. So you go over again. Then now you increase the rate of your long-term memory with that passage. The next day you'll find that it will be up to 45% or 50% or 60%. Next day you'll find it up to 70%, 90, and 100. Each time you take 100, it drops down. 100, it drops down. But the drop will get higher and higher and higher. So basically you start off with 25%, then you gradually get to 100%. Finally, you don't have to read that passage every single day. What you will do is after a week, you come back to it, you still will know it. But if you leave it for 1 month, you would have forgotten. If you leave it for 2 weeks, you'll forget it. So what you do is you make yourself small bite-sized revisions that you go over and over again and again with key information you need to remember. Now what I'm saying to you guys is, if you've got studying maths, if you're studying economics, what you do is from the beginning of the year, every subject that you do, take the key parts out. You can make mind maps, which he talks about, but you don't have to. You can do it all inside here. When I was studying my final year, I had to devise a way of remembering all the fiqh ikhtilafat. I had to remember in wudu, what did Imam Abu Hanifa say? What did Imam Malik say? What did Imam Shafi say? What did Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal say? And what was in Sahih al-Bukhari or Sahih Muslim or this and that. So it was a mammoth task. So I devised the thing in my head. This was my personal one. I gave a figure of what I thought was Imam Abu Hanifa in my head, and I made all of them come to this little pond on 4 different corners. All the 4 Imams. Imam Abu Hanifa was dressed in green. Imam Malik dressed in red. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal dressed in grey. Imam Shafi dressed in cream. So basically they've all got different colors, so I can identify them, differentiate. And then they're having now, I create a whole story in my head where Imam Abu Hanifa will say, this is fard, and the other one will say, no, this is not fard, and this one will say, okay, this Bismillah, you say, this is Sunnah, and it's all going on. I make a little video in my head, but once I've made it, I will play that again and again. Play that again and again. You know what I'm saying, play again and again? What I mean by this is that I'm going to play this when I'm walking. I'm going to walk in, my eyes are down. I don't need to look at, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Fattaqud dunya wattaqun nisa." He said, beware of the world and beware of these women. Because once you look at women, and what happens is, subhanallah al-azim, you've just knocked your memory out. Seriously, you've knocked your memory out. Because when Imam Shafi rahimahullah, he went to his ustad, what did he say? He said, he complained of weak memory to his ustad Waqi', and he said, "Shakawtu Waqi'i su'a hifzi." Shakawtu ila Waqi'i su'a hifzi. He said, I went to my ustad Waqi', and I said, Imam Waqi', my ustad, said, I am complaining to you about the weakness of my memory. فَأَرْشَدَنِي إِلَى تَرْكِ الْمَعَاصِي. He told me that, Shafi', he said, Muhammad ibn Idris, he said, you stay away from sin. Stay away from that. Because what is this? This is فَإِنَّ الْعِلْمِ. Knowledge is something which is نُورٌ مِّنْ إِلَهِ. It's a light from Allah Azza wa Jal. وَنُورُ اللَّهِ لَا يُعْطَى لِلْعَاصِي. And Allah's light is not given to a sinner, one who disobeys Him. This was the thing that Imam Shafi got. So I will tell you, the weakness of memory is what? Because the biggest thing, guys, the biggest thing that you suffer from in your exams is when you get to the exam hall, okay? Let's be honest with you. You try to cram it in for the last month. Yes? Yep? Oh, you guys didn't take exams before. Yeah? The way I'm talking about, mashallah, you're good guys, yeah? So they try to cram it in. People who don't do this method, they try and cram it in. They try and cram it in. Especially the days before, the night before. They try and squeeze it in. Like, they're going on a holiday, they've only got 2 minutes to pack up. And they've got all these things to take, so they stuff it. And they stuff it. And they stuff it. When they go to the airport, the minute the guy basically just touches the zip, the whole thing pops out. Like a jack in the box. Right? So the minute you go into the exam hall and you try and remember something, everything just, all your knowledge is going down your ears. You're thinking, my God, I've lost everything. Right? Why? Because you did not follow the method, which is an old method of trying to take bite-sized revisions. And in this bite-sized revision, what you do? While you're walking, you go over it. While you're eating, you go over it. Eat. Bismillah wa barakatillah. You start it. You eat. Your mind should be on the bite-sized revision. And what he teaches you is that 45 minutes is the extent to how long you can concentrate properly. After 45 minutes, he says, in his book, he says, go and do some exercise. Go and do some physical exercise. In our case, alhamdulillah, if you're doing that, your niyyah is, I want to please Allah with a nice good body. MashaAllah. Yeah? MashaAllah, good nice good body. Yeah? Mussalman. Yeah? Yeah, guys. That's it. Yeah? Why not? Allah's given us, a nice, good thing that, some people out there that's quite scared of. And they've got a reason to be scared of this, you know what I'm saying? Mussalman. Right? Anyway, you go and do weight training, whatever you want to do, okay? They come 15 minutes, he says, and get back. If you're not going to do that, then, akhi, I'll tell you a better thing to do. Go and read some Quran. Go and get some fresh air. Go and read some Quran. Do some dhikr of Allah. Honestly, this will help you long term. If you do constant bite-sized dhikr of Allah during your whole preparation, Allah will send His angels to you. And what kind of things should you recite? I will tell you that in a little while. So you basically have gone now. You're eating, you're doing bite-sized revision, and then you're walking, you do it. And when you get together with your good friends, the only thing you should talk about is this revision. So set certain times. So 45 minutes, guys, we're not going to talk about anything else except for studying. And after this, we take a break. Okay, take a break, go around, get some fresh air, talk about whatever you want, come back again and do 45 minutes again. Go back again, come back 45 minutes again, yeah? I am telling you, la ilaha illallah, if you keep this pattern every single day, you're on the bus, you do the same thing. Your revision is in your mind. And it's all different. Now, by the time it's 2 months, 3 months, you've got maps. And I had to write this. One of the things he says that you write some of these documentations you want, you write it in such a way that is unique to your brain and your mind.